Hello, welcome back. In today's episode, we have a number of things to tackle. But in our previous episode, we did a number of things and we were able to reach at this point. We have the orders and we worked on the sales, worked on the processing the orders, order items and sales. And at this point, at least we can go to the orders page when a user have logged in, and then we can view the order as you can see here. Now, one thing that we said in the previous video is to go ahead and try to design something like this so that we can be able to view the invoice, or even say download this invoice maybe in the future. So hoping that you designed the invoice, but if you didn't, I managed to design something very early today before the video. The design, really you can polish it, but we're just going to work with that. So when you click on the invoice, I have here something small that looks like really an invoice. You can go ahead and find the code to this on this page. We always use the Ecommerce page. When you scroll down, you're going to see the invoice page, and this is the code. If you check the invoice page, you can see here we have the button. I have here this button, and then I have the sales invoice. Okay, and then if you just go ahead and go to the sales invoice, you see that I have the rest of the code in here. Okay, so feel at home to get this, and you can modify. So the page and the component, the sales invoice component, the code is all here. Okay, so designing this shouldn't be a problem. Just if you have issues with HTML, CSS, or I mean Tailwind, I think, I don't know if I ever made actually like a tutorial for only Tailwind, and I teach you Tailwind. And by the way, if you want me to make a tutorial about Tailwind, advanced Tailwind techniques, you can also just comment in the description so that I can make that tutorial. But today what I just want is to plug in to be able to fetch all this data. Okay, just to be able to fetch all this data, and then we can just go ahead and plug this data in. Okay, we can just go ahead and plug this data in, and this we're just going to simply actually add the details of the invoice. Okay, this will be just like the details of the order. Sorry, this will be details of the order, and then yeah, we will simply just use the order details. Okay, now at this point, I'm not sure if I can pull off this this number. Let's first test. So if I went to this page and I just accept the params, okay, and then from the params, let me just get the ID. Okay, and let's go ahead and console.log ID. What I just want to see if it is possible to still access this ID from this page, so that we just use it to fetch the order. You can see compiled. Yep, so you can see we have this the ID. We can still access it onto this page, and that's great because we can now fetch order by this ID so that we get the details of that order. Okay, so that means that when we are routing, let me first duplicate this here, and I'm just going to go and go to the API orders, and let's just say we have some order here, this one which has the items. Let me just go ahead and get this particular order. So we have this ID. So if I don't know if we have this done. Okay, I think we have it. You can see we can just get this whole entire order. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this, and for now I'm just going to fetch. So you can just say const order is equal to await get data, and let's pass in this. Okay, let's pass in orders stroke dollar order ID. I'm just going to say order ID here, const order ID, const order ID is equal to this. Okay, of course this one has changed to async. Okay, so we have get orders, and then here you have order ID. Let's just put here order. Sorry, let's console the order. So I'm just going to go back on the terminal. I can just go back to this page, and then let's go ahead and see the compiling. Okay, so you can see we have this entire order, all of it here. Okay, great. Okay, so what we want is, we are going to, when you are redirecting to this order, we of course use the other order, which will be great. So you can just go ahead, and we have two things: pass this entire order, all of it. We're just going to pass that order here. So order is equal to order. So when you just go to sales invoice, accept the order. Now we can just get some of the information from this order. For instance, bill 2. So when you just go back here, you have the first name and last name. If you look to this, you have to put his names. So we have bill 2 for first name and last name. So here bill 2, there is this bill from, which is up here. So just put this one bill 2, and then we just put here, we have to combine first name and last name. So I'm just going to say dollar order dot first name, and then here order dot last name. Okay, then we have now the street address, city and country, then district. So you can start with the street address. On this one is going to be country, so order dot country, and then this one is going to be 3 things. The first one, order dot street address, and then we can have order dot maybe city, and then order dot district, and then here of course dot email. So here we have order dot email. Okay, so we have all these, even the email here. Okay, so you can see we have all this data. Okay, it doesn't matter the information that is there. And then here, invoice number. Now we're just going to change this to order number, maybe something like that. Either we can just leave it like invoice number, and then we put here the order number. Okay, we could just come down here, and for where we have this invoice number, here I'm just going to put like order number. Okay, invoice date, we have this created at. So we have this created at, and that is the time we are just going to put. So first I will just go and get the date here, const. Okay, invoice date, just going to say invoice date is going to be equal to convert. I think we have a method, convert ISO date to normal, and just pass in order dot created at. Okay, so just now get this invoice date and just simply bring it to here where we have the invoice date, and then amount. So if you look at the order, okay, we need the total amount, so just going to do of course this we'll just go ahead and do the sum here. So just going to say const subtotal is equal to, so just going to go ahead and we see order items, okay, dot map. So we have access to the total and the item, so we just simply want to return total plus item dot price times item dot quantity. Let me first see if we have item dot price. So here we have these order items, we have the quantity is okay, and then also you have the price. Okay, good. So just get this subtotal, and of course we can just say to fixed, and then we pass to. Okay, let me just go and get the subtotal, and invoice due, just put here subtotal. Okay, next is this table. So we have the items, so down here just going to do a map of this table row. So just simply do a map. So just going to say order dot order items, okay, dot map. Okay, we have access to the item and its index, and now we're just going to return, and let's return this table row. So return this table row just like this. First of all, pass in the key, which is going to be the index, and now we have access to the item. So this is the item title. So just say item dot title. Okay, item dot title, and then this is item dot description. Now we don't have actually a description, so we might just actually eliminate that. Okay, and then so I'm just going to leave that one like that. So this is the item quantity, so item dot qty dot quantity. Then this is item dot price, and then down here is of course the subtotal, which should be something like item dot quantity times item dot price. Okay, we could actually just calculate it from here, the subtotal. I'm just come here and cut this. We say const item subtotal is equal to this, and the good thing is that here you can just say to fixed. Okay, to fixed, and we pass into here. Just get here item subtotal and put it here. Okay, and I don't know now what we have here. We still have an error on this map, and probably it's because these ones need to be converted into a number. What I'm just going to do is I'm just going to, we could quickly go to this to the cart page, and we could just like use this one. I'm not just going to just copy this, and let me just bring it here. Subtotal, this one is going to be order items. Okay, so this one is price, and then this one is actual quantity. Okay, let's see if we have any changes. Okay, so you can just see the amount here calculated. We have these. I think we have to eliminate this item description, because it will have to involve us fetching the item data. I don't think which is really necessary. Oh, that means that when we are sending, actually when we are adding the item, we should also add the description of the item in the order, because here we have the image, title, content, price. Maybe you could also add the description in the order, so that it helps us really to to cap that. Okay, so now down here I'm just going to punch in the subtotal and the total. Okay, so if you just come here, and you could just also get the maybe the tax. I don't know where the tax will be coming from, but we can actually just put here these things here. For instance, const tax. So tax, let's just say is going to be 20, something like that. So you can just say const total is going to be equal to subtotal plus taxi. Okay, so just can come here and you put total down here. You can put here subtotal as subtotal, and then tax you can put as tax, and then here this total can be total, just as simple as that. So now we have all these figures. Okay, now the spacings of this, I think I'll keep on like working on it really. Okay, here you could just give like, more especially like here on the subtotal, maybe let's say if I give a gap of maybe 4, what happens? Okay, so you can just go ahead and provide some gap. Okay, even up here this date, invoice date, let's go to the invoice date somewhere. Let's say gap 4, and even amount due date, gap 4. Okay, great. So we have something that looks presentable at this point. We can actually move with this. Okay, we can just really move with this. I'm not sure how this looks like in the light mode. Really, I'd not consider light mode. We have only the table being seen. Okay, so you might just need to consider working on the light mode of this. Like really this time we're going to be working on that, and maybe I just simply see here text, slate 900, maybe say 800, and in the dark mode, let's say dark text, slate maybe 200, okay, so I think that would work now. Yeah, so that one just would really work. Then this one, download invoice, I think we can just like really on this page, this button. So here we can just say BG, so in the dark, actually in, let's just say this one is in the dark. Okay, and then in the light, let's just give it BG slate maybe 800. Okay, and the text, of course, in the dark is going to be text. Select 200. That is in the light. Here just a text slate. And then this one is going to be in the dark. Okay, just like that. So that we have this this button looking okay. Now we still have the issues with hover, and just remove the hover instead. So just go here to this, where is hover. The hover is here. Just remove this hover. Okay, so now there is no hover. Okay, so this is this would work for now. Then maybe this one you have to give it a BG. Okay, let me just give it a BG white. So here dark text. So for instance, in the in the light, let's say BG. BG white, like in the light mode, BG white, and then in the dark mode, BG slate. This is 800. Okay, so here it is white. Okay, which is nice. And then in the dark, okay, so in the dark is having that color. That is great. Okay, so we have the invoice invoice done. Maybe adding the print. I'm not so sure how. I think the print functionality, we are going to use React to print. Okay, we have to use React to print. Okay, so first of all, we have to separate this button into a separate, I think we have it to put it like in its own container, because if you put anything like on a click in this, in the page, if you put on the click, it will force us to make this component right now it is a server component. If you just check it, if we add anything like on a click on this button, it is going to be it's going to be a client component, so we cannot allow that. So we have to make this button, okay, we have to make this button a whole the whole entire thing, we have to make it that. Okay, another problem, so we have the invoice here, so we have to take this and give it its own component, like the download button. Let me just see if it is going to work, because we are going to use the ref, meaning that this component okay, let's just first create here and we see how this is going to go. I'm not sure. Let me just go to this, and inside the order I'm just going to create the download button. So just create a new file and call it invoice download button.jsx. So RFC, so I'm just going to go back here and copy this this whole entire thing. So this button here, cut it, and let me just go to this button RFC, and just simply return this. And let me just simply bring it this back here. So on top here, let's add invoice download button, as simple as that. So we can first add like an on click to this button really. Where is the button? Okay, it is here. So we could just first of all make this a use client. So I'm just going to make this a use client, and I'm just going to, for instance, function handle print. Okay, and then I'm just going to come here and just say console.log printed or clicked, whatever. Okay, remember this invoice really is not responsive, so I don't know how we'll make it responsive, but for now just know it is not. Okay, this should, like, let me see. Okay, at some point it looks nice when there is no sidebar. So now if I click this button, and I think on our screen it needs to have some margin bottom or something. Let me just see flex, and let's add like margin bottom of 8. Okay, okay, better. So when I click it, what happened? Did it click? Oh, did I place on click? So here you see on click handle print. Okay, just like that, and I just go ahead and right now see if this makes sense. So click, and you can see clicked. Okay, the clicked is there, so that's great. So what I just want is so go to this, and I think the time we did the printing using React to print npm. I'm not sure if it is this one. But this is it this one? Not sure. I think it must be this one. But remember we used React print. So just go to this documentation, search for Ctrl F, search for print, and just go to this print functionality using React to print. So you can actually just click and go to this page. Okay, so the package is here for the printing. Okay, so you can first install it, npm install React to print. Okay, just get this, and npm install React to print. Go back. So after you have installed the package, let me close this. We have the print function, so we use this use to print. So the first thing is you have to have the ref, so invoice ref in this button. Handle to print takes in invoice ref, because if you look at the button, and then the component to be printed has to have this. How are we going to move that ref? So probably what you're just going to do is what we're just going to do is we have to have the ref on the component to be printed, and then we pass this ref to the button. And we can also not use ref, so we cannot just also define ref, of course, in any of like these components. So the only way we're just going to do this is bringing this button. So let me just take this button, guys, and take it to the sales invoice here, and I'm just going to have to do this. So let me just have a div. Instead, I'm just going to put a button, and a button and this invoice. Cut this and then put here. Let me just put a comment, invoice. Let's first go to the page and get this flex. Just going to get this class and bring it to the sales invoice. Where is it? So just give it to this. So we have the button and the invoice. Now I'll just go back to the page and remove this component. In fact, just only leave the sales invoice, just passing data like that. Okay, let's see if there are some changes. Before that, let's take this handle to print. I think if you just go, there is this function handle to print. Go to the sales invoice and let's have this function here. And the button is here, so this is the download button. So we have the download button on top and then the invoice down. Let's see if we have any errors. Handle to print function. Okay. Button on click. Okay, so you have to convert this into a client component. The whole entire invoice, sales invoice, let's convert this into use client, since we have on click. Okay, okay, so we have it here. Let's click. Okay, so the clicking is still happening. Great, and they are all together in the same component now. Okay, so to take you up to speed, what we just did is that in the invoice page we only have the sales invoice, and we are passing in this order. We fetch the order and we are passing it to the sales invoice here, and inside the sales invoice is that we have two things. We have the button on top. If you just like look at this button on top, and then the invoice itself. So we receive the data here, and then we start manipulating it, getting all these, the date, subtotal, and all other things here. Okay, and now what I'm just going to do is working on the printing. So to work on the print, we have already installed the package. So the first thing is to install this package here, React to print. And after you have installed that package, great. So the steps are here. Okay, so the first thing, of course, you can see that we have created this function, handle to print. So another thing is to use ref. Okay, so you must use ref here. The invoice, you can just come here and you say, for instance, here on top, let me just put it here. So you have const is use ref, so you must get use ref from React. Let's confirm. Okay, so we have use ref. Now after you have defined this, you have to actually define this actual ref. So the actual ref is this one. So you can just go here and either you can just put on this very component, or you could just put this whole entire thing also in a div. Let me just put in a div, and then inside this div I put the invoice. Then on this very div is where I'm just going to say ref. So you can say ref, and I can just go invoice ref. So the other ref you defined here is what actually you define here as ref, and I put here, you can see after you have defined here const ref, and then you go down here on this to be printed, you just simply put ref. Now to actually handle this the handle print, it uses this use React to print. So let me just get this. It uses this function. If you go to this package, you can scroll down and you see they use somewhere use when you can scroll, or you could even search maybe use React to print. Now you can just see it here. Okay, so you can just go ahead and search this. Okay, you can just go and use that in a functional component. You can see here. Make sure you just like on the functional component. These ones are class components, so you can just continue until you reach on the functional component. Okay, you can hear. So you can see here coding from functional component with use React to print. You must first get use ref and use React to print. Then you give the component ref, and then you can see our component, we give it that ref, and then we have also this button here. Okay, on click handle print, and then you can see handle print is using the use React to print. So I'm just going to go down here onto this function. Handle to print is equal to use React to print. So first get this, and then content is invoice ref, this one dot current, and with only that we should actually be okay. Let's just go and test and see if it is doing something. So click OK, and let's see the preview. Okay, great. So you can see we have the actual preview the way we want it, actually having all the details, and we can just go ahead and save to the PDF or download. So I'm just going to change this to download, or say just say download stock print. So I'm just going to give this one a name of download stock print. invoice. Okay, because you can save or you can print. So that one is done. At least that one is done, and we are good. You can see the margins are okay, everything is okay. Okay, so that is one thing done. Now let's move on. So what I'm just going to do is the next thing I'm just going to do is working on the first thing. By the way, let's first redirect to the actual one. We haven't added the actual order here on top, not using 1 2 3. So I'm just going to do one thing. First of all, go back. So you're supposed to go back to these invoices, and when you click on this invoice, it's supposed to pick this very information. So on this invoice, let's just go let's go to that page. Where is that page? It is this order card. See, on the order card, at least we have the details of this particular invoice. You can see we have this particular order, and one thing we have on it, we can have order ID. So here on this invoice, on view invoice, where is it? View invoice here. So on this link, I'm just going to change this, simply change it into that, and just going to send it to dashboard orders, and then here is going to be $order.id. okay, and then this one is going to be invoice. So just go ahead and see, that's the only change we need to make, and let's make sure we capture this on our page. So on top here, let's make sure that we don't need this, and we just need to change this, use this ID instead. So here, let's put the ID, and then we remove this. As simple as that. Okay, so I've removed that. So we have now export default async. We get the params, and then from it we just fetch this. I don't know if we just need to console that. So we pass the order, the sales invoice, and before I forget, I just need to delete this button we created inside here. This one, we don't need this really right now. Okay, great. So you just now go and test. This one is going to refresh. Go to view invoice, so you can see that. So we have alloy and new product updated. So we have some data populated. Let's scroll down. We have these two items, and then this one, and we have the orders calculated very well and everything here. I wonder why the total, what are we putting on the total? Because it did not add tax. Let me see. 2651. Oh, they are adding it as a string, is it? Let's just first go here before we leave the sales invoice. So on top here, where we are adding subtotal plus this tax. Okay, so let's make sure that this is, you could add another plus, by the way, just like that, and it should just like solve the problem. Having like plus, it is weird, but it could solve the problem. Let's just make sure that this is int. So we could just like do something like pass float. We just say here pass float, like to convert this into a float number, and even this, maybe you could just also say pass float, to make sure that we are really adding the right things. Okay, so now we see 2,6. Now you can just see the added actually this. Okay, that's great. Now we just go ahead and the result of this, we just say to fixed, and let's pay pass 2. Okay, great. So this is now sorted. Okay, we have it sorted. That's great. So we're just generating the invoice and printing it, which is really great. Okay, you can just see here, you can just go ahead and save as PDF. Maybe save it, I don't know, save it where? You just click here, it will look for the location to save it. They just go to the downloads and do this. And let me just go to the downloads, find this invoice. We can't be very sure that everything is okay. Let me just go to the downloads. Did it download? Okay, let me just go there manually to the downloads. And let's go ahead filter for today so that we don't have to okay, so we have it here. Let me just double click it to open it and see if everything is okay. You would have opened it with Chrome. This one might take time. Okay, looks great actually. Look at that, guys. However much we have this border stopping here, I think in future I think we just remove the border. Okay, there is a sort of a border that is moving and then it is surrounding it here, but apart from that I think it's still okay. This is an invoice, and so long as it has everything correctly, there is no any problem. So I have no problem with the invoice. Let's move with that. So the next problem we want to tackle right now. Yesterday I met a problem while I was testing something online. Right now we are in the user dashboard, but we have first of all to register these sales. So somehow we have to actually log in and log in as these some of these things here. We have to log in to, so let me just log out. We have to log in as either a farmer or admin. Okay. Okay, so I can either just log in like as another person. Now I'm not sure which we should log in. Let me just put this test and let's try to log in. Okay, so right now this one, if I just go to dashboard, okay, and I know this one must be a farmer. Okay, this is a farmer. The first thing I want to work on is the chaos of the categories. Okay, so I was testing yesterday. The farmer, you are able to delete, access the categories. So we have to first hide the whole entire categories from the farmer. Okay, this can really cause chaos. So the farmer can access categories, and for some reason he can decide to delete all the categories. Okay, the farmer can modify the categories. It shouldn't be like that. He should be able to get to see only the products he has created, even the products we are going to be filtering them to only the products of this of this that has this vendor ID or user ID, so that he sees only the products he created. Even here, the product is not supposed to have access to all the products in the database. Then the categories is not supposed to look, and even the coupons and the banners. And the banners we are going to hide also them from this. So we have to hide the categories and the banners. So how are we going to do that? Let me first go to sidebar. I think everything is in the sidebar: components, back office, and then sidebar. So when you go to the sidebar, there is where we have let's move slowly. We have the sidebar links. Okay. There was the best way of handling this. In the future, I'm just going to show you this, putting them in just one div, just one stuff. But for now, let's just go and I just want to see the links. We have these catalog links. Okay, we have these catalog links. So for the catalog links, these are the ones we want to control, because it is where he has this. So I'm just going also to control these catalog links. So if you look at the catalog links, where are they? The catalog links, they're here. Okay, and if the role is a farmer, sidebar links are that. We could just select, since we just let it to be late. Okay, we could just simply say here late. We don't need now to add late. This time we simply just say catalog links, because we have well defined it. And this time we just simply just do products, and let's remove categories. And then coupons, they can see coupons and no banners. Okay, something like that. Let's see if this one works. If it works, this should just hide the products and the store banners, so that he has only access to the products plus the coupons. Okay, that one works perfectly. I didn't know it was going to be that easy, but yeah. So he has only access to these products and the coupons. He has no access to the categories. It is really deadly if he accesses the categories, and he can just be deleting them. So let's go to the products. He should be able to add a product, that is for sure, and even deleting a product and even editing a product, but only to the product that belongs to him. Okay, he should not be able to access all these products, and the same to coupons. So if we just go to the products, to the product page, that is order, and you go to community, we just go to catalog, and then we go to products, and then we go to page. Okay, so this is where we are feeding the products. So we get here the products at this point. Okay, so we could actually get the ID of the logged in user at this point. So if we wanted the ID, we could just say const session. So I'm just going to actual access session is equal to await get server session, just like that. And then let's pass in the auth options. Okay, and this one should give us access to the session. Now we could just say I'm just going to say if no session. If there is no session, we should just return. Okay, we just say returner maybe, like you don't just like need to do anything, because even the products maybe we could just return maybe we just say const products is equal to empty and return products. I'm not sure, because like we want to just say right now first return now for sure if there's no session, but the session is always going to be there because you can't access this page when you're not logged in, so the session will always be there. But for purpose of protection, we can just like return now. I want to just like if there is no session, you return like an empty products array, but doesn't matter, let's just return. And then for the products, here we are going to get the products, and then let's get the ID const ID is going to be, so we have to go to the session, okay, dot user, then so yes, go to the session, here dot ID, okay, and let's go ahead and console.log this ID. So I'm just going to go to this here on this page. Let me just go to the terminal and see. So just go here and let's scroll down. Okay, so the ID is here. Okay, so now we have the ID, so you can just go ahead and now filter by that ID. So I'm just going to say const, I'm just going to call this products data. I'm just going to say products data, products data, or you could just say all products. Okay, and then here we could just say const user products or farmer products. Farmer products is equal to all products dot filter, so we have access to the product, and yes, you simply just want to return a product whose user ID is equal to ID. Okay, so we want to return all products whose user ID they are equal to this ID. And let me check on to, if you go to the product, they have the farmer ID. Let me first go ahead. What is this? We can just go ahead and see on the API. Let's go to API products. You can just go and get all the products. So you can see on the products we have somewhere user ID. So this user ID is actually the farmer's ID, and I will test for you. For now, if we just go back and pass this, whatever we get back from our product, and then we pass it here, and we're just going to say here conditionally. Okay, just going to say here conditionally. We have to conditionally show here, because if it is admin, we want him to see all the products, but if it's this, okay, so what am I going to say? I could say that if so just here I'm just going to say if the row So you have the user, the role. We could also go here and we say const role from this const role is equal to user session is equal to session, okay, dot user dot role. Okay, so you can just get the role, and then we're depending on the role we change here. So if the role, okay, if the role is equal to, okay, farmer, that is admin, is equal to admin. If this is true, then we just want to return this, okay, and then else we're just going to return this. But here on the products, so first of all, here is going to be all products. So here we want to show all products for the admin, but for this one we just only want to show the farmer products, just like this. Okay, so for now products is not defined. And you can see now we have no results. This person has no any product. Okay, he has no actually products, and this is really good because he shouldn't see any products. And we are going to do the same thing to the coupon. Now, unfortunately, do coupons actually have user ID? Let's first go and check coupons, and it's something maybe we didn't just consider. So coupons, if you look at them, they don't have actually the user ID. So that one we have to work on that. Okay, when someone goes to create coupons, even the coupons, they shouldn't see all the coupons. Okay, they shouldn't see all the coupons. Let's just actually, before we leave the products, let's test with existing. Let me just show you. Let me just test with products. Let's test with a person who has some products there. I'm just going to change the user ID. So let's go to this one. He has, I think, some product. This product belongs to the user ID of this one. So I'm just going to copy this, and let's go here, and where I have use ID, I'm just going to say equal to this. Would just like that, and let's just go here back, and you'll see that he has now some product, maybe 1 or 2. Yeah, so you can see he has at least 3 products. Okay, not even the entire products, all products, but he has all these. He has 3 products. Okay, so now this is great because you can only see the products that he has only. Let's turn back into the ID. Okay, that's great. Let's now go and make sure that when you are creating a coupon, it should be actually having the user ID. We don't need even to show it. Okay, we don't need to show. So like on the add coupon form, we're just going to make sure we have the ID of the user who is creating this coupon, and then we are saving his ID as one of the things. So everything is going to remain like this. The only difference this time is actually just going to get the session. So let me just go to coupons and new coupon here. So when you just go to coupon form, okay, basically this is a use client. So if we just need an ID, so I'm just going to come in and get user ID. So here just going to say const session, So here we just use session. So I'm just going to say const data as session, and maybe we have also status is equal to await. Let me just say is it, do you need to await? Use, I don't think there is need of awaiting. Is equal to use session. Use session, I think use session. Okay, so we have that we have session plus the status, and you could just go and say if loading, okay, we could just go and say if status is equal to loading. Okay, so if it is equal to loading, we're just going to say return, so just going to return like a p tag saying loading. Okay, and then otherwise let's go and get the user ID. So const user ID is equal to session, okay, dot user, then dot ID. Okay, so you can just get the ID, and then on actually saving the data, we just need to actually add this ID, or you could just even call it farmer's ID, whatever you just want to call it, or vendor ID, could just call it like even vendor, the vendor ID to make it different, but just know it is just like this logged in person. Now when we just like have to come on this on submit, so the first thing I just want to do is to get the data and add that. So I'm just going to say data dot vendor ID is equal to vendor ID, as simple as that. So now the data, whichever data you're just going to be having, is going to be having this vendor ID. Okay, the problem is that this vendor ID, we are not actually receiving it, so we'll have to make all the changes. Okay, we'll have to make all the changes here before we send this. Okay, so I'm just going to do this, and the only thing I just want to do is that the vendor ID is being added. So if I just go and I use fake filler and I create, the console is really waiting. Just okay, so we have an object here. Not sure if it is the one. Coupon, we're having some issues here. Render more than one hook. Let's just reload. And this is just because of getting the logged in user. Do we have internet? Let me just here let me just do this. See if we can just get the logged in user. And where is this loading coming from now? Okay, so now I'm just going to use fake filler. Okay, and I'm just going to create coupon. Okay, so you can see we have the vendor ID. Okay, we have the vendor ID. So we can just go ahead and add this the vendor ID. Whoever is just creating this, we can just go ahead and of course send this data. Let me just go and remove this. So the first thing, I'm just going to go and add the vendor ID to the schema before I forget. So just go to the schema, Prisma schema, and I'm just going to search for the coupon. Okay, here, and let's add this vendor ID, and should be an object ID. So just go and copy one of these object IDs somewhere. It should be just like this. Okay, object ID. So just can come here and they say it is going to be a string. At object ID. Is that how it's supposed to be? Yeah, so it's supposed to be string at object ID, meaning that it is actually supposed to match the user. Are we supposed to have a relationship with the user? I don't think so. Let's just look for the product. How do we handle the product? So down here we have the product. So we have the user ID on the product. So we can just copy this, Ctrl C, and we are calling it user ID. So just copy this to for simplicity. Just go back to the coupon. Let me just remove it from here. This here. So you're just going to put that down somewhere here. Okay. So just going to say that the user ID and this user ID, I can just call this one vendor ID since, and you could just say here this vendor ID field references to the ID in the user. So the only thing is that we have to go to the user. So go to the user. So you can say the user can have products the way you have here. So you just have to have here also like coupons. So you can just see coupons, and they just see here we see of coupon, just like this. Okay, so that relationship is done. So we'll find that a coupon must have a vendor ID which is string, but it references to this ID in that. So that is great. The only thing I just want to now work on is accepting this vendor ID. So we must go copy this and go to the API, and API, let's go to the API and coupons somewhere, just like this. So just going to go ahead and accept, get the vendor ID, then we'll create a new coupon. We still add a vendor ID, and I think that's it. Now even here getting this, here we just get the whole coupon. It's okay. Okay, so right now that one is working, so let's just go ahead. After we have added it, I know this will work. We shall test it maybe at the end, but here on the coupons, so you go back to the dashboard, catalog, coupons. So I want to go to this page. We do the exact same thing. Just go to this page. We want to do exactly the same thing. We pass in here these are the coupons that belong to this person. So I'm just going to copy from product, how we did. Okay, so just go to first of all, I just want to get this. Okay, and go to the coupon. So instead of putting this, you have data table data. So here this is going to be all coupons. So let's first get here this one as all coupons. Okay, so this all coupons is going to be for the admin, all coupons, and these ones are going to be farmer coupons, and let's go down up here and we say const farmer coupons is equal to await. So let me first get here this is going to be all coupons. Okay, dot filter. Okay, so we want filter, we have access to this, to a single coupon. Okay, so we want to return a coupon whose vendor ID, so yes, we're going to have vendor ID is equal to ID, and we can first get this ID by saying const session is equal to await get server session. Let's pass in all options. Okay, just like that, and then from here we can say const, we can get the ID equaling to session. Okay, dot user dot ID. In a similar way, let's find the role. So const could just const role is equal to session. We can have session dot user dot role. Okay, so you can just find the ID and the role. We use the role in getting the coupons, and then we get here these coupons. We just render them like this. So we have these farmer coupons. Farmer coupons is what we pass here. Okay, so everything right now should be working, except that this coupon dot vendor ID, we don't have it yet. Okay, we don't have it yet. If we try to go to coupons, we might actually have problems. Okay, so what I'm just going to do is just wait for a second. I don't know what is going to do, but Let me check my internet. Okay. Okay, so auth options is not defined. Okay, let's just get these auth options. Okay, yep, so you can see no results. So even the coupons he doesn't have. Okay, the coupons he doesn't have, and this is because when you go here on this component, it's just because you can see we just like waiting for this data, and I think so just like passing in all these things we are doing. Okay. Okay, so that's great. We don't have any coupons, so you don't have, he's not supposed to delete coupons which are not his and products which are not his. That's great. And then also but for customers it is okay. Okay, for the customers it is okay. So of course we also have to find a way of getting the customers. How we are going to get the customers? We just need, actually, I think, the name. For this case, we'll have to get all the user IDs, and then we fetch the user with that ID which have bought, because for any sales, when someone makes a sale, and then even here, let's go to sales. Okay, so this sales, I don't know if we should use we should just display table. We simply just like get a table, we get all this, and then the orders. Now for the orders, we have to change this one. We look at like we have orders and sales. For now, we're just going to concentrate on the sales. When the sale is made and then we receive it, I don't know if we are just going to use a table. Okay, if we're just going to use a table, and then we pass in the sales. Let's try that. So I can just go to this. Okay, I'm just going to literally go ahead, like in what we have done, into this page. I will just duplicate like what we have here in coupons. Okay, more especially the columns and the page. So I'm just going to click on this and these two things, copy, and let's go and put them inside the sales. Okay, so go ahead and delete this. Okay, and then in the sales, paste this. Sorry, Control Z. Make sure you click on the right one, so sales. It tends to actually jump. I don't know why. So in the sales, I have the page. Okay, we might just need also, so the page header, we don't need this this page header. Maybe let me just actually hide this page header. We don't need the page header. And then we have this table, data table, which is going to be corresponding to the columns. So let's just first go to the columns and define the columns we need on the sales. So if we just go back to the sales, really we have the product title. Okay, so we have the, let me just first go to this one and I look at what they have in sales. Do they have sales here? Actually, yes, he has only orders. There is no sales. Let's look at what they have on orders. So there is this order. So there is where we have the orders. I think we'll also have to look at these. I don't know if we should just like only do the orders instead of sales. We only call them orders, as simple as that. I don't know, man. Do we need to have orders and sales at the same time? Because here in this one we actually have only orders. Okay, just like first put it in sales here. So if we just look at this, we are pulling from the orders. The good thing, we also have the sales. Okay, if you just think about it, we have the sales at the same time we have the orders. Okay, we have the orders. So the orders has this first name, last name, and then these order items. If you check here, is put the customer name, method of payment, the amount, and status. Those are the things that we wanted. Okay. Actually, they just actually get it as the orders for sure. They just have these orders, so it is very easy. I'm just going to first way to is this sales. A second, just going to go to these the orders. Now, if you just look at this right now, if you click at orders, if you go and click at orders, you will see that it's just going to take us to dashboard orders, trying to fetch the orders this person has bought. You see this one. So we don't want to render this page for the user. So what we can just do is create, for instance, in the dashboard, okay, I can just create a new thing called here. Either you can just call it vendor or farmers, and we have here farmers. We could just have like vendor, and then inside the vendor we can have specific like an ID, I guess. We could just like have here, so like specific pages we can put them here. Really, do we need this? Let me rename this. You can have like orders. Okay, and then this here we can then have these two pages Okay, we can now go and copy these things we put in sales, the column, and this one. Maybe I still have them on the copy. Let me just first go there, paste. Okay, I have them. So I'm just like going on this and I'm putting these things here. So in the dashboard, vendor, then orders, like to only have that page. Okay, now onto this one, I'm just going to go to page. Okay, you go to page, you see we have here determining the all these things. So these ones are going to be sales, orders really, orders. Okay, so we have orders. So this one gets the orders. We can get the order for this. Okay, now here to get this, that's why we need to pull from sales, because we differentiated them, I think, from sales. If you go to the orders, let's first go to the orders. This is the user ID of the one who bought. You can see the vendor ID is on these products. So how do we get, actually in this case, I think the vendor really is very hard to look at the sale. Okay, all what we have to do is, one, we have to fetch the sale, the order, which is okay. So let's just say some steps here. Let's say the steps you are going to use. So we fetch, we will fetch all the orders. Okay, so if we fetch all the orders, how are we going to get the farmers orders from those? Because so we'll have to go into this will be an array, containing these orders like this. We can map through that array. If you just look at them, let's first look also at sales. Let me just duplicate this and look at sales. Which one is more easy to deal to manipulate? So for them, they have vendor ID direct. Okay, they have order ID, they have vendor ID. So these ones are somehow easy because we can fetch all the sales and we filter by the vendor ID. Now what we don't have, we can also get, what you're just going to do, we have to do the hard way. Okay, this is the easy way how we can get these, the orders. So just going to go ahead and fetch all the sales here. So we fetch all the sales. Okay, then number 2, we filter by vendor ID to get only sales for this vendor. This one help us to get sales for this, so this vendor. Now the only thing, if you want orders, we have to fetch. So what we could do is we could get order ID. So we could fetch for this, we could go ahead and fetch order by ID, and then from this order we could get now the customer name, okay, customer name, and others like email maybe and phone. Okay, by the way, I don't know if we collected the phone, but we need the customer name, email, and the phone number using this order ID. For the product, we could also need like a product name. Let me look at it. So I think it would be good if we have the product name. Is it really necessary? I'm not sure if it's necessary to look at the, but this is of course we from the order we can also get the item. Okay, we can get the item for that, and then we can get the total. Let me see the information that is displayed here. What we have is the invoice number. I think here we can just use the order number. So from here we can just get the order number. And that's why the orders shouldn't appear. Orders are going to be handled by the store. So the actually yeah, that is very very okay now. So the farmer does not actually have access to the orders. Okay, farmer does not have access to the orders. He only have access to the sales, because orders are going to be handled by the admin, because when you have you are getting many vendors, the vendors don't actually work on the orders. The orders will be behind the scene worked by the team on this for the store. Let's say the way Jumia works. So Jumia has its team which goes, if an order comes, they're the ones who are going to collect the products from different vendors. So the vendors, they only look at their sales. Okay, that's very easy now. Okay, so instead we just definitely only have sales. We don't actually need to more things to show about the customer. It's just like we're going to show them the sales. Okay, and for the sales, what do we have? We just simply only just show these things. We show the order. Maybe you could just get like what would show like if you want to look at a sale, you would want to look at the product you have sold. Yeah, you just want to look at the product title plus its image. Okay, and then the price, the quantity you have sold, yeah, and the total amount you have sold. As simple as that. That's the only thing we're just going to actually show. Just like show here, we are just going to break ourselves. So we have this ID and the row, and then here just going to say sales. We just simply get all the sales, and then we are going to filter them by ID. So farmer sales, or this vendor, if you use the vendor, this will be vendor sales. Okay, and we simply get all sales, or we just say all sales. Okay, so just get and name this one to be all sales. We sell, we access a sale. Okay, of course here we want a sale dot vendor ID, so we also have it as vendor here. Okay, we have it as vendor ID, so this vendor ID is equal to the ID that we got here. Okay, so after getting that, we just now have to get to change this one. So we have all sales and farmer sales. So here we have all sales, and then you're just going to have farmer sales. Okay, now let's work on the columns. The columns are just going to be like the ones of the product, I think. So you can just go ahead and copy the columns for the product. Only you're just going to add more things. So just go to this, go to products, and let me copy the column for this. Copy. Let's go to sales, columns, delete this. Okay, so let me just go back to, was I put this in the vendors sales? What? Now let me first paste this here first, and let me just go and see what we have here. I think my page is here, the one. Okay, so everything we have here in this, Control C, go and paste it here under sales. Just paste here. Okay, and this is going to be sales. Okay, and we have everything really sorted. I don't think we need, do we need page header? Really, no. We are not creating a new cell, so take off that. Then for the data table, for now let's actually just see the data we are putting here in data table. For sure is the column names, they are different. We have to use the columns, is using the same columns. There we're just going to have problems. So just click on sales. It has this title, product image, active, date created. So you have to actually go ahead and manipulate these columns. So where is sales columns? Let's go ahead and we can leave a checkbox. So the first one is the title. So how are we going to call it? Let me just open the sales here. So we have this as product title. So just come here. Is that this is the accessor key is the product title, and this one is product title. Maybe just see product title. And then for the image in the database, we have it as product image. We have it as product image. And then header product image. Accessor key is actually this product image. And then is active, we don't need is active. Then created at, yeah, we can just leave created at. And then we need to add some more things. We don't need these actions. For now, we don't need to delete or edit or anything. So what I just want to do is maybe seeing the invoice. Okay, let's just first leave this. I'm just going to borrow some others. Like we have, what do we have? Total. Okay, so we have total. So before created at, we're just going to have total. So just copy this and just put here accessor key is total. Let's see, accessor key is total product. Just put here total. Here just going to say total. And not just like this. Let me just get any column that is normal. Where do I get a normal column? Just simply go to, let's go to training, community training columns, like the one for the description. I think is just like direct. Why are we not having, we don't have anywhere like a normal thing. Where do we have emails? I don't know. Farmers, row, just, yeah, so something like this, simple as that. So let's go back to the sales column. For the sales, they're here. Created at, we might just need that. Product title, product image, we just have total. Accessor key is actually total, and then here is total, just like that. Do we need anything? We have the title, so we have already put the title, I guess. And then I think this one's enough. We have this. We can have also quantity and price. Product image. So you just have here 3 things. You get the product title, then image. So image comes first, I guess. Let's cut the image and it comes first. Okay. So you can have product image, product title, product price. So yes, put here product price. Yes, price. And then quantity. So you can also have product quantity was bought. So quantity here, and then here just going to say QTY, and then finally the total. Okay, let's see how this looks like. Product image, title, price, total. Just state product title, image title, price, quantity, total, date created at. I think, yeah, this is better on the sales. Okay, he can look at his totals. Okay, so you just have like one for the person who have sold. Let's just go to the orders, to this, and let's add the vendor ID for purposes of see how this one is going to look like. So let's go to the sales page. I'm just going to pass in the vendor ID just like that, and let's go and wait here. Okay, so we have one product, which is this one, and you can see at least he has all this information. Now for the delete, I'm not sure if we need to delete these. The actions have to change. For now, let's remove actions from the columns. Okay, these actions would have to maybe create another action for particularly for the sales, because the sales maybe you would want to do what to. I'm just going to comment out the action here. This one, let me comment it out so that, okay. Okay, so we have this looking nice. Really, we get the all the information. So the orders we're just going to hide. It's not supposed to look at the orders. Orders are going to be handled by the admin. So let me go ahead and go to the sidebar. Where is the sidebar? Components, back office, sidebar. So in the sidebar under this role, we just simply go here and we can remove the orders. It doesn't have to look at the orders, but we can leave the sales. Okay, now for the customers, and let's not forget here, let me close all this. So products, so in the dashboard, products, I need to look at first like sales. Okay, so sales, this page here, remember to take back this to the ID, just like this. Okay, we might just forget. So if we pass in like all sales, let's first see what happens. So if you pass in like all sales, are we getting all the sales? Let's see. Yeah, so you can see we have like all sales. So the admin for him is going to see at all sales like this. But then this other person, the farmer, has to look at only his sales. Okay, which is great. So for this one, has no sales yet, of course. He has no sales. Okay, so and you can see the other thing is gone. Now the only thing we would worry is how we get these customers. Okay, so the on this, for the customers, we're just going to, I will use like the thing for the farmers. Okay, of course this one has no access to the farmers, and I think even the markets, we're going to fetch only the markets for this farmer. For now, for the customers, what we need to see that we have on the sales here, you said there is this order ID. Okay, so we can also fetch the order, then we can get the customer name from that. So I'm just going to go to this and I'll go to the farmers and I'll copy two things, this column and the page, copy, and then I just need to go to, let me see, customers page. So I'm just going to delete this. Okay, then click on this customers, right click and let's paste. Okay, so we are pasting this the page. Of course this one has to, so here we're just getting first of all we have to fetch what do we have here in the customers. When he goes to the customers, what we have is the only the user ID. So we can first get the all orders, all the sales actually. So just go and get all the sales. Okay, actually they just go and copy the, for the page they just go to the sales, do this, copy everything here and take it to the customers here, paste. Okay, so this one is just going to name it as customers. So first of all we get actually the session, the ID and the role. We go ahead and get all the sales, and then we can get the farmer sales like here. So from this farmer sales, let's just choose a particular farmer. Okay, so if I get this vendor ID and let me paste it here. Okay, so now we have at least some farmer sales. Remember here we just need to send we need to get the customers. Okay, we need to get the customers. So if you console.log, I'm going to first console the console that. Let me just go ahead and console.log farmer sales. What is farmer sales? If you just look at the farmer sales, first go to the customers. Okay, go to the customers and I'm just going to look at this. So if you look at this, this is an array. Okay, this is an array. Which has the order IDs. So we need to get I don't know how we're just going to get, because what we need is the order ID. Because you can imagine if there are two, actually just let's simulate using like all sales. So if you have like all sales, you see that you will have an array of this. So from this array, of course we could map and get the IDs. Okay, we could go ahead and get the IDs or different of different orders. Different orders. Now does the admin actually need to have access to the customers? I don't think so. I don't think so. And I think another thing we're just going to do is we have to create a route from database that is giving us customers. We cannot just like do this whole manipulation here. This is too much. So for the customers, we need to create a what? We need to create a custom route for the customers. and then we'll handle that from that side, and then we have API for the customers. Okay, we have to have that. And what we'll just do is, I think we'll do it in maybe in the next episode. What we'll have to do is we have to create a customer. We have to create the customer API endpoint, and we get their details. Really, we cannot just like handle them like this. We're not going to play this gymnastics for now. So let's just leave it at this. We shall resume, I think, from this. The tomorrow, I'm just going to start from the customers. We'll create the API. We make sure we actually fetch. But for this, I don't know if we should show the client need the vendor. Does he need to see the customers, or the customers have to be only seen by the admin? Okay, I'm not so sure, because for purposes of maintaining the customers on the UI, like on the store, you might not need the customers to deal with the vendors direct. Okay, you might not need, you must be the middleman. So they will not look at the customers, they can look at the sales, but we can the admin is the one who can remain with the customers. So in the next episode, we're just going to look at how we are going to handle that. Then after fetching them, then we'll hide them from this from the farmers accessing them, but we'll first work on this API endpoint, and we'll see that it can work. Okay, yeah, so thank you so much for watching this episode. See you in the next one.